How would a national program to fight climate warming look? How would it affect jobs in the short term as well as overall? Okay, so this is the deal. That is from Walter Burnham in Massachusetts on email. Okay, so this is the deal. We have like maybe 7 to 9 years. And if we do not take radical action, then we could have a level of massive social collapse within 20 years. It's too late to start the argument, is this man-made or is it just natural cycles? It almost doesn't matter because what we have to do to fix it is the same regardless of where it came from. This is what we must do. We must sequester the carbon. We must reforest. We must get rid of these animal factory farms, which are immoral, by the way the animals are treated, but also because of the nitrous oxide and because of the methane. Even if we were to do everything else we need to do to reverse climate change, that would continue to be a problem. We need to invest quickly, powerfully, urgently in alternative green energy. That's why we need a Green New Deal. We absolutely must change from a dirty economy to a clean economy. And if we do not do this, I think all of us need to have a picture in our minds of what's going to happen if we don't handle this problem. We could have, within 15 to 20 years, huge swaths of countries, possibly even huge swaths of continents, that are literally uninhabitable because of the heat. So if the land is uninhabitable because of the heat, obviously you can't grow food there. And if you can't grow food there, obviously people can't remain there. Massive food shortages, massive economic collapse, and possibly even tens of millions of climate refugees. It's a catastrophic scenario. But you know, one of the things that I think we need to remember is that in every area, we could be talking about peace building, we could be talking about children, we could be talking about the environment, we could be talking about any issue. And what I think all of us need to remember is that America has the people who know what to do. We have the problem solvers. We have the best practices. But don't go thinking that the political establishment as it now exists is the problem solver. Donald Trump did not create all these problems. All these problems created Donald Trump. And so we have to have a fundamental break, a fundamental pattern disruption. The issue here is the people who are the environmental scientists, the environmental experts, the child experts, on everything we're talking about. They exist in this country, and some of them exist within the government, but those are not the agencies or the powers that are funded and supported the way they need to be. So we have to have a World War II level mass mobilization to reverse climate change. But we're American. We're hardwired for great things. We were born out of a big idea. We've gotten in the habit of doing small things. And you know what? A little incremental change here, a little incremental change there. It like makes our eyes glaze over. That's not who we are. I don't think Americans are weary and tired because we're doing too much, so much as we're wearied and tired because we're not doing enough that's important. Reversing climate change, leading the world. Oh my God, we left the Paris Climate Accords. We're the only country that left. And now the Paris Climate Accords is like the least thing to do. We need to go so far beyond that. So we need not only a Green New Deal, we need to make this transition quickly. Now, the question is, from Walter, how would it affect jobs in the short term as well as overall? Now listen, first of all, I'm going to go back a little. And let's be real. We would not have won World War II without fossil fuels. So there was a time when their use was not a bad thing, or at least we wouldn't have known that their use was a bad thing. And some of the industries that have done full-scale industrial harm need to be enrolled in doing full-scale industrial repair. That would be my goal as president. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people work for those industries. They shouldn't have to feel scared by all this. Rather, they're to be respected because the same manufacturing, the same skill at manufacturing, research and development, the same creativity and the same productivity, which is now being placed in the direction of a dirty economy, needs to be repurposed in the direction of a clean economy. It's the same skills. That's why we call this a just transition. And the American worker, and this is true when it comes to trade deals, it's true when it comes to a lot of things. I have a little bit of a protectionist streak in me because I believe that the American worker has the right to feel that the U.S. government has their back. And in this just transition, the U.S. worker will have their back. Because no, it's not okay with me for one person to fall through the crack during this transition, not one person. And if the government has to compensate for any gaps in the meantime, I'm all for doing that because this government and this country should belong to its people.